Welcome to Rock Your Talk. I'm Leisa Reid with Get Speaking Gigs Now and Productive Learning. Excited to share the brilliance of our guest today, Amy St Hilaire. Hi, Amy. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Lisa?
I'm awesome. Thanks for being on our show. And just to give our listeners a little bit of insight into what I offer, I'm the founder of Get Speaking Gigs Now. I help speakers get booked, stay booked, and attract their clients through speaking. I'm also the proud trainer and speaker for Productive Learning. We're a company that specializes in self-mastery. We help bring EQ to business and EQ, meaning emotional intelligence, to individuals so they can get more of those desired results and really maximize their potential. And so I thought, why not bring some other experts in to hear from, especially offering some tips as we're going through the current situation in terms of shelter in place, but also I think the tips that, especially I know the tips Amy are going to share, are going to be helpful for anybody in any time. So Amy, tell us a little bit about you. I know you're the founder of Mind Body University, pretty exciting, but tell us a little bit about you.
Right, so my name is Amy St Hilaire, and I was a marriage and family therapist practicing all mind-body healing modalities and holistic methods to heal trauma and all sorts of things that people carry around, and I did that for 18 years. And then about 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to move in a sort of a broader category of the way I help people, and so I'm a transformational life and health coach, but I do have that experience, and I have my master's in clinical psych, and most recently I founded Mind Body Healing University, and that is really, and it was really this shelter in place and the current situation with all the stressors people are going through, all the trauma people are dealing with, that was the sort of kick in the pants I needed to just get this going. So that's what I'm doing right now.
I love it.
It's to bring mind body healing tools to people's hands and really put healing in people's own hands, because there are so many empowering tools, and I am out to basically disrupt therapy as we know it. I consider talk therapy a dinosaur, and anyone who does it, I'm like, get some new tools. So
I love that. Yeah, I know. I'm excited to hear what you have to offer, because I know, we've been working behind the scenes as well on some of the stuff that you're developing. And I know that you are going to make a big impact in the therapy world. And if you're if you're listening out there and you're a current therapist, you're definitely going to want to keep in touch with Amy, and we'll share how you can keep in touch with her, because there's ways that you are creating or, really implementing the tools that you've mastered to help therapists get quicker, more effective results that isn't just necessarily in their hands right now. So that's pretty exciting. I know that's actually not even, it's ironic, not even the topic we were going to talk about, but we can throw some of those in. So,
cool.
And I think you're here to talk about the really people, and I know there's a lot of listeners who can relate to this in terms of you're self-employed, you're working at home, and you might be a little bit stressed out. There might be some things that are driving you bananas right now. And that's why I wanted to bring Amy on and say, like, okay, what can we do as working at home people? What can we do to really manage that stress, keep it down, process through it? Please share some tips with us. So what do you got for us?
All right. So it's the 3 Ds. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have a couple tips for dealing with discouragement, because if you're self-employed, sometimes business is up and down, right? Maybe you're just launching a business and now this, right? And then we're going to talk just a little bit about dealing with making decisions when you don't have clarity. I have a great tool to help with that, to get clarity. And then self-discipline. What are some productivity hacks if that can be difficult, especially now, because there's probably a lot of distractions, right?
Yes. Okay. So tell us about discouragement. What do we do when we're like,
so
I can't take it anymore?
I know, right? So discouragement, frustration, discouragement is, it's the opposite of hope, right? And hope is what keeps us going in any situation, no matter what context we're talking about. Hope is really important for us. Yeah. The opposite of that is discouragement. So if you're talking about, this could be life in general, but because we're focusing here maybe on self-employed, small business, medium, large business owners, discouragement really can wreck your mindset, right? And you know this from all the work you do.
Yeah.
And so the quicker you can recognize it and get rid of it, the better. Because as I say, we go through life and we experience emotions. Some feel good, some feel bad. None of them are good or bad
right. They just are. Yep.
Yeah. And so when we are experiencing bad feeling emotions, if you will, or negative emotions, usually they just don't serve us at the level we're feeling them. So something might happen. I might feel discouragement level 8 out of 10, with 10 being really high and 0 being nothing. But if we do what I'm going to show you in a second, I could bring it down to a 1 or a 2, because maybe there's a little bit of discouragement is warranted for the situation, but maybe based on past experience or fear of what could happen, I've thrown it up to an 8, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so here we go. Let me show
Let's
you
do it. I can't wait.
to clear away discouragement. So if you can imagine, when we're in a heightened negative emotional state, our right brain gets really very active. And if we're in enough of a stressful situation, our left brain can actually go offline. And our left brain is our logic and our orientation to reality, not, oh my gosh, fear, this in the future, or oh my gosh, terrible experience that pulls us into the past. So I've got a technique here that you can use to create a bridge between the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere and get them talking again from the inside out. Because if you're stressed or discouraged and your best friend looks at you and says, Leisa, you know it's going to be okay. Everything happens for a reason. You always pull through. If you're really stressed, you might not even hear that.
Right. You're like, white it out, right? You're gone. You're gone.
I've gone limbic. My caveman brain is firing and I barely hear what you're saying. Or I hear it, but I don't go, you're totally right. Right? So we got to get the left brain online. And there you have it. So all you need to do is think about what you're discouraged about. Pro tip, you can use this on any emotion you don't like, not just discouragement. Okay, so there you go. And you can use this with kids too. So all you do, we're going to create a bridge between the right and left hemispheres. And so I would say just take a moment, tune into that thing that's really up for you, and think about it as you count and tap like this. This creates a bridge between right and left hemisphere. So typically what I do is I just say, okay, think about that thing, notice how you feel, and then tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I would typically say go up to 100 with it.
Okay.
And then when you're done, basically just take a pen and put it to paper and just ask yourself, okay, what's clear to me now? And write down whatever comes. Because that's like that, your deepest wisdom is there's clarity of thought. Your left brain comes online, and maybe from the inside you hear, it's going to be okay. Yeah. I always pull through, but it's from in here.
Yeah. So it's from inside. Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of like what you're saying. It's like really able to reset your internal and external, kind of like bring it back into the internal, tapping into the deeper wisdom that we all have, right? And we all have access to it, but we don't maybe know how to access it. So I think this is like clearing the weeds out in a way, metaphorically speaking, to access that inner wisdom, and taking a pause and a time, like, so the tapping in a way is a time to like physiologically reset from what you're saying, and emotionally reset, and just, it's like this beautiful, I love that exercise. It's so nice. I'm going to use that.
Very simple. I used it with a kid. Well, I had someone, when I was speaking at Pepperdine once, and he was very skeptical of what I was talking about. And he contacted me 3 weeks later and said, oh, you know that thing you taught us? I used it on someone who was in a full-blown panic attack. He wanted to leave my office, and I had him do this. And within 3 minutes, he was totally calm, and we had our best session to date.
Wonderful.
So it really works to bring people out of, like you said, it's a total nervous system reset.
Yeah. So what's great about that, what you just shared, I love that you shared that with another therapist. And again, if you're listening and you are a therapist on the show here, that's just an insight into what Amy's talking about. Is like, oh, wait, there's things that I could use like in the moment to add to my practice to help my clients or my patients, whatever it is that you call them, move through it quickly. And then also just what we were talking about, being self-employed, you're like, anybody could use this. So it's like I like how you shared that example, that it could be just anyone experiencing emotion that's less than ideal, and then also how you could use it in your practice.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Cool.
Good.
And then we had, what was the second D?
The second one was getting clarity on decisions.
Decisions. Oh, okay,
So
cool.
this is super cool. Basically, sometimes we can't make a decision on something. Maybe it's something big, maybe it's smaller. But if we're really racking our brain, and of course we can ask other people, we can write pros and cons lists, but what if we had a way to bring our unconscious mind and our deepest wisdom, kind of open the channels to be able to hear some other sides of it or some ideas or aspects we hadn't thought of. Would you like to learn how to do that?
Yeah, let's learn how to do that.
Okay, so we call this the decision-making exercise.
I love it.
It's very easy. Now I'm gonna tell you a secret. I can't tell you exactly physiologically how it works, but 20 years of doing things like this for myself and my clients, I will tell you it does work. So this is what you do. It's very easy. Okay. You definitely have a pen and paper with you when you do it.
Okay.
Think about that thing that you're not sure about. What should I do? This or this or this, blah. And then, so easy, you put one hand on your forehead, and then you put your other hand on the back of your head, like here where your ponytail would be, or because COVID.
Okay.
Take a breath and just think about that thing, the decision you're wrestling with, and just move, stretch, or twist your neck however feels good to you. It may be that you just want to hang here for a while. You might not move. You might, whatever feels good. Personally, I love to do this lying on the floor where I can really stretch and get into it. But I would set a timer and do this for about 3 minutes.
Wow.
Not for 30 seconds. And keep in mind, if this is a decision that's, been, stressing you out or you haven't been able to make for a couple hours or days, 3 minutes is no big deal. Sometimes people go, 3 minutes. It's okay. 3 minutes, right? Because maybe you get all this wisdom.
Spend a lot more time on social media than 3 minutes, so we can figure it out.
Right? I know. People want immediate, though, so sometimes I laugh. People will muscle test in session. Their deepest wisdom says, oh, we need 3 minutes on this. They're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, we're just spoiled because these things work fast, but 3 minutes. And then at the end of it, and you'll probably be getting insights and ideas and new angles on the whole situation as you do this. Write down everything that comes to mind. And you'll have new stuff in there that help you get clarity.
Wow. It's kind of like accessing your inner coach.
Yeah.
Like your inner business coach or your inner personal life coach or something like that.
Totally, because there have been things you've heard that we all hear and then it gets put back in a file.
So much so.
All this wisdom. I found something I wrote 20 years ago. And I was like, this is really good. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're like, whoever wrote this is a genius. Oh, wait, it was me.
It was me. So we've all got it inside us. We have everything we need inside us. Like, how do we get rid of the head noise?
Yes, I love it. Oh, that's so great. Okay, what's our next one? Self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
Yeah.
All right. So some of you listening might be the type of person who you say you're going to do something, and it doesn't matter if anyone's watching you or relying on you to get it done. Okay?
We all have moments like that, right? Yeah. Well, we all do that sometimes. I don't know if we do that all the time, but I think we all have moments of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's other, not maybe other times, but, other tendencies. And Gretchen Rubin wrote about this in her book, The Four Tendencies. She talks about sometimes you don't have great luck with, or you're just not disciplined in a way that it comes naturally for you to keep your word to yourself, but you will not let someone else down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I used to kind of berate myself a little bit, thinking, oh, my frontal lobe, I wish it worked differently. I wish I could set that plan and execute it and always stick to my word and never be behind and, whatever. And then I read this book and, she basically says we can be wired differently, right? So where maybe I used to think, oh, that's ridiculous for me to think outside accountability was really what I needed, like it was a crutch or meant I was weak. When I read that, it just gave me permission to say, oh, so what do I need to do?
Yeah.
If that's kind of how my brain functions and I'm distractible and I start this and this and this and then I don't, right? So I figured out some hacks over the years. So I'm going to share four little ones. If you can, especially, and when shelter in place first happened, I panicked because I was like, oh, left to my own devices is not always a good thing.
Right.
I've done yoga 5 times. I've done yoga for 24 years, but probably 4 times on my own. Now I got to get to a class.
Right.
Then I'll do yoga.
Right.
And I love yoga. Like it's my spiritual home zone, So in any case, okay. So how, when you're home working or any other time, can you get some accountability going? You can set up meetings, obviously, maybe earlier in the day than you'd like them to be. So you get your stuff in gear. At the beginning of this, I chose to do a Facebook Live at 10 a.m. for 28 days. I did it 10 a.m. Pacific every single day, did a de-stressing live. I had to show up. I had to be dressed. I had to have my stuff together, you know? Right. Phone jams are something I'd never heard of until I was working with a group of people. And do you know what those are?
No, phone jam sounds
fun.
fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun, right? Yeah. And you know what? I even think you can wear your jammies at this point, or whatever.
A whole new definition of phone jam.
Yeah. So, but the original definition, as I've understood it, is, let's say you're in a business where you got to get on the phone and you got to make calls, check in on customers, maybe do some sales calls, cold calling, warm calling, whatever. But someone like me, sometimes I'd rather maybe do something else. Once I sit down, I'm fine. I just got to get myself seated. So you set a phone jam time up, you invite other people to it, you tell them what it is, you're going to come with your list or whatever of who you need to call. We're going to get on a Zoom, you get on and you wave, everyone mutes themselves. And you sit there and you make all your calls. And you see everyone else making their calls.
Yeah, right? That way you're not feel alone, and you're more than likely going to do it. It's kind of like if you go to the gym, you're going to work out. You go to the gym and sat there on your phone, just the social pressure of seeing everyone else work out and people staring at you because you're the only one not working out would be weird, right? So it's kind of that same thing. Like if you're going to invite and participate in a phone jam and you're not actually making calls, then that social pressure for a lot of people would be enough to okay, I'm going to do it, right?
Absolutely. And so for me, it really helps if I'm the one hosting it because I have to show up.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. When you know yourself enough, you can go like, okay, here's how I'm going to best do this, is actually host it. I love that.
Absolutely. And then of course, get some coaching. I work with coaches. Speaking coach, I happen to know. A sales coach, I know. A mentor. So really, coaching. Of course, I'm biased because I'm a coach, but really, I employ coaches all the time because they help me be my best self. They help me stay on track and focused, keep my goals and my vision in mind, etc. And then, of course, having an accountability partner. But now we've all heard of accountability partners maybe for working out, right? If you have an accountability partner, let's say for your business, you can set it up this way so it actually has some teeth to it. All right, every day by 10 a.m., Leisa, I'm going to send you the top 3 things I will, no matter what, for my business or my personal life or whatever you're working on, get done by 10 p.m. today.
Yeah.
And then come hell or high water, you get those things done. And if you don't, it's 1 strike against you. And after 3 strikes, your accountability partnership is over.
Wow.
Because you have not honored it. So it's not, oh, it's okay, honey, just take a day for self-care. It'll be okay. Oh, you've got so much going on. It's like, did you get it done? Why not?
Right.
I mean, you think Michael Phelps's coach is like, oh, buddy, you don't want to eat healthy.
You don't need that other gold medal.
Why not? Oh, take some time. No, a coach who's going to coach you sometimes is a mean coach. So that's one way you can do that with accountability partnership too.
I love that. Wow. So you got some great tips, and I love that. I can't wait to try the 3-minute thing. I won't do that on our video call today, but I've got the strategy. So hand on the forehead, other hand behind your head. Let your head, move your head around. 3 minutes. That's when you're having a hard time deciding something. So that's a good one. And then the hands on the chest, tapping up to 100, you said.
100's good, I think.
Yeah, 100 good. When you're working, you notice that you're having an emotion that is less than ideal, and maybe you'd like to move through that and really get some clarity on that. And each time, it sounds like both of those, great opportunity to tap into that inner wisdom that you have. And if you're a therapist listening or a coach listening, it sounds like those are also techniques you can bring into your own practice. So, and try them on yourself, practice them. And if you want more tips, Amy, where can they go to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so they can go to mindbodyhealinguniversity.com.
Awesome.
They can also check out Inspiring Transformation on Facebook. It's all run together as one word, Inspiring Transformation. You can reach
Beautiful.
me from there, Facebook.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for all these tips. This is awesome. This is
Good.
great.
I'm glad.
I can't wait to try them out. I'm so excited.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to hear about it. Because I always love it. I teach people tips that I'm like, are you using it? Because I do tell people this will not work if you don't.
Right.
So
Exactly. Your pen wouldn't work if you wouldn't use it either. So, you know, you gotta get in there and use it. So we're going to challenge everyone who's listening. Let us know how it worked. Try them out. Let us know. We want to hear. Amy wants to hear. I want to hear. And thank you so much for being a guest on our show. Until next time, everyone, I'm Leisa Reid. This is Rock Your Talk Expert Interview Series. Yes. And what I want to share with you today is just, you know, remember to be good to yourself. I always got to remind you, be good to yourself and be good to someone else too. We'll see you next time.